2-0 with Midrange, Doomsday in the challenge. Let me pull up the list real quick as we're waiting for round 3 to start. But basically, as you can see, we're playing Doomsday. We got the typical Doomsday stuff, but the way we're mid-range here is we've got Kaito, we've got 3 Bowmasters, and Tamiyo with Murktide Barragoy from the sideboard. So we are going a bit more. We're going a bit more mid-rangey as an alternate win con. Okay, so we're going to go into round 3 and hopefully be able to take the win to go 3-0. Just checking to make sure I'm live. Okay, so I am live. Perfect. And we are on the play round 3 versus a name I cannot pronounce. Okay, this is a quick flip Tamiyo. So I'll keep this. We do have a force backup if needed. I mean, we could just flip Tamiyo turn 1. Which I don't hate. If we do that though, we don't need to hold a force. We could... Maybe I just Thoughtseize turn 1, take my time with it. Something is inside me is saying I should Thoughtseize, so I'm going to do that. No, we're playing Doomsday. We just happened to... Do I take days here? I guess I take the days. And then the question is, do I play the Tamiyo? I think I do. So if they wasteland us, we still have Tamiyo. Okay, if they wasteland us, I think we're miles ahead. Okay, so we are getting wastelanded, which is fine. If they don't have a blue card, then we're very happy. If they do have a blue card, then, I mean, they're 2 for 1ing themselves. Oh, I should have attacked first. Whoops. Oh, I think they have a blue card anyways. Cool. Got rid of 2 Force of Wills. Feeling pretty well set up here. Scalding Tarn, fetch Darcy, makes perfect sense. I think here I am going to duress. Get rid of the Steel Cutter. And then starting next turn, I get to crack these clues. Ooh, that is unfortunate. There's the one downside of duressing is that it does give them another type in their yard, but I think we're fine at the moment. I'll put that on top. It's not exactly what we're looking for, but Ponder is decent. Don't really want any of these. I mean, Doomsday is good, but Oh god. We're not in a great spot here with that Darcy. I mean, the LED's fine-ish. It's not really what we're looking for. I gotta start cracking these clues. I've been waiting way too long to crack them for no reason. God. Such a bad draw. Yeah, I just think I misplayed this matchup, honestly. That's fine. I think we have a much better game 2 and 3 here when we get the Barrack Waves in. If they Murktide here, I feel pretty confident. So would love to see a Murktide. Okay, pretty happy about seeing that Murktide actually. As now I can just kill the Darcy. Okay, so that was their last card, which is fine, because now we get today's back. Get rid of this. Could draw twice, but would rather do that on their turn. Block with the Tameo. It's fine. Okay, so I know that they have Brazen Borrower. I think I just need to draw twice here. I'm going to crack the LED as a way to draw. As weird as that feels, getting rid of Bowmaster and Force of Will. Cavern of Souls not what we're really looking for here. I guess let's brainstorm. Yep, don't think I have any outs. That happens. Had we found the Doomsday faster, I started cracking the clues faster, maybe we get there, but I definitely think that was on me. But getting the Barrack Waves in here is going to be a big advantage. We're going to get some Fatal Pushes. Hydroblast. I think we're going to cut down on 2 forces. Cut the Consider. I'm going to cut the LED as we're not trying to do super fast piles in this matchup. I'm going to cut the Thought Seizes. And I'm not gonna Thassa, or I'm gonna cut the Unearth actually. And the question is, do I want these Murktides? Not particularly. Yeah, cracking clues, not exactly what you're looking for always, but sometimes it's what you need. I'm gonna keep this hand because we have Brainstorm with Tameo, which is always nice. Here they probably kill the Tameo, unfortunately, but that's okay. 1-for-1 trading is fine. So here, play this. It's Brainstorm. Find a Doomsday. I can go for the win next turn with the doomsday. If I want, is that our move in this game? If I'm going for the one next turn, do I want the ponder or the brainstorm? I probably want the ponder. So next turn, dark ritual, street wraith, edge of autumn. If they're tapped out, I think I'm going to go for the one next turn. We'll see though. It really depends. So they are tapped out. No, I don't want the basic. Okay. Dark Ritual Doomsday. Do they have force? No force. Okay, so probably Thassa. I want Lotus Petal to play around days. Edge of Autumn. Probably want the second Thassa just in case we have to go to that. And then maybe another Lotus Petal. So let's talk out our pile real quick because we have plenty of time. So the goal would be cycle Straight Wraith, cycle Edge of Autumn, Brainstorm, getting Lotus Petal, Thassa, Underground Sea, or Lotus Petal, Thassa, play the Lotus Petal, play the Cavern of Souls, and we're good. So that is our pile. So here, undo. With the Underground Sea at the bottom, Thassa, Edge of Autumn at the top, Lotus Petal. That way we can play around days to some extent. Put these two back. Wait, no. Okay, that's all good. Whew. I, for a second, thought I messed up. But we didn't, as we had the Edge of Autumn, which I completely forgot about. So this, with them being tapped out, should get us there. And then next turn we had a win also where we could fetch for the last land, and we'd be drawing Thassa. So we were pretty safe through a lot of stuff there. They would have had to daze at any point, but I doubt that they thought that we were on Doomsday. So I'm happy with how that pile came out. Going into the next one, definitely want to keep the Barragoyfs, as they're very good against Delver, just as a good mid-range tool. Doomsday piles are fun. Having to like figure out this little secret way of winning around everything. I mean, we had a same turn pile, which is always fun to figure out. Past piles are a lot simpler, usually. Not always though. So going on the draw, maybe we cut a days for a Force of Will. And do we want these Murktides? Could they just die to Pyroblast, which is a pretty big deal? I don't know. I mean, I don't think if we're forcing a force, likely. Do we want a Murktide or two here as like some more aggression? Which if we do, we probably cut the Hydroblast. Something like that. It's probably fine. Okay. A bit of a slower hand, but I do like it as we have Baragoyf and Fatal Push and Doomsday. So we've got pretty much all our game plans in one here, and we can fetch both basics if we want to. So pretty happy with this hand, and I think we'll be fine with it. If we draw a Dark Ritual, we even get to Fatal Push and Baragoyf next turn. So let's see. I think I'm going to go for the basics here. Keep us safe from Wasteland in this Wasteland deck. And Cavern of Souls is kind of nice. Guarantees a turn 3 Baragoyf if we want to guarantee it that way. Definitely worth thinking about, as Baragoyf can just win the game against them. Ooh, and another Baragoyf and an Underground Sea. I think we're going to be going the Baragoyf route and just trying to win via them. Because it's pretty hard for our Delver opponent to kill Baragoyf. They need Delirium, and then they need Unholy Heat, of which there's only like a 2 of in their deck. And Delirium means that a bare minimum, our Baragoyf's going to be a 4/5. So it can definitely be rough for the Delver player. We're going to Ponder. I liked drawing Force of Will, and then an Underground Sea in case they have a Wasteland after. So let's go for that. Yeah, the Barrow Beatdown is coming. Sure, you can have a Dragon Rage Chandler. I'm going to Fatal Push that end step. If they daze, they daze. Hey Colin, how's it going? Saw that you beat Tony Scapone. Congrats on that win. Alright, so getting through a days here, I'm more than happy with that. They do have 4 types now, but we do have ways to deal with that. So what, Lurgoyf? Surgical Tutor, and he scooped twice, I see. Yeah, our opponent's gonna have to go looking for Unholy Heat very fast, and they'll need a counter spell for this Force of Will, in addition to the Unholy Heat, so feeling pretty solid here. As we also have the second Baragoyf coming down the turn after. And that's gonna be a lot of life gain. So we have instant sorcery, land, artifact in the graveyard. We're missing creature from both the decks. And we're missing... I'm trying to think what else we're missing. I forget. But also, they might have sideboarded out the Unholy Heats, which if they did, they're in for a world of trouble. As Unholy Heat is very important to kill our Baragoyfs for this deck. And Unholy Heat is not great into Doomsday, so there's a very real potential that they have no way of killing this Baragoyf other than like Bolt Bolt. Okay, so the Argonite Wasteland, the Cavern of Souls here. Does help us for Doomsday, eventually, being able to put Cavern of Souls back in the pile. Ooh, happy to draw that. So we got a couple options here. So option number one, we Dark Ritual Doomsday and hope they don't have two forces, because we can get Thassa from the hit with Baragoyf and play Thassa. I think the better option though here is we're already ahead with our Baragoyf beats, so let's just put down a second Baragoyf and go from there. No need to risk our win. So Force of Will pitching Force of Will, so they did have two Force of Wills, but that's okay, as we have a Force of Will back. We're going to get that second Baragoyf. We do get the second Baragoyf. Now they did leave something on top, which is important to know. It could be like Murktide, which could be scary. There's a couple things it could be, but it's pretty rough for Delver to deal with two Baragoyfs. Yeah, I'm happy I didn't go for the riskier line of going for Doomsday and trying to jam a Thassa in through Force. Could have done it, but I don't think that that's how we're winning this game. I think we're just winning off of two Baragoyfs. Alright. Darcy coming in for 3. I'm going to let it happen, as I don't think that 3 damage is going to be what does us in. Oh, Murktide Regent. Pretty happy to have drawn that. Attacking with everything. Let's see if we get some creatures. I mean, I won't say no to another Baragoyf. And here's yet another Baragoyf. So yeah, we got all the Baragoyfs. I mean, Soul Guide Lantern doesn't even, it doesn't hit their graveyard, so I still have 4 5s. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this list feels very good in the being able to play mid-range a lot stronger. And Dark Ritual into Baragoyf works so well. Do you play Doomsday? I do. I do, but I trim on some of the lines for it. So it's in, but less good than released. And if you like it, as you can see there, we do make our Doomsday sideboard, or Doomsday piles worse. But because we have Dark Ritual to Baragoyf, we're a lot better just being able to attack. Let's look at our hand. Yeah, this hand's done. I mean, what I might have done is if I had drawn Dark Ritual next turn. I know we got Brainstorm here, but yeah, next turn I might have Dark Ritual Doomsday, Swarm with everything, and if I don't have lethals, milled with one of the creatures, because all my Baragoyfs go down to 4 from the Doomsday. We're one away from a Doomsday. Creatures in the yard. If we were to draw a Dark Ritual, we could Doomsday, which would be nice. They're just passing to us after the mull to 5. Okay, just going through their turn. That might have been an accident, I'm not sure. But let's see what we get. Okay, so we get Kaito here. Not exactly what we're looking for draw-wise, but that's okay. And it is oops. We do get to take the Dark Ritual, putting us in a good spot. We're just gonna pass. So they're in a really rough spot here. And we just get to cast Doomsday and go for a win next turn pretty safely. So we're just going to do that. And we have Daze and Force of Will for a win next turn. So I'm going to put it in 2 Thassa just to be safe. We're going to put in a Brainstorm, Lotus Petal, Straight Wraith. So I'm just making a pretty simple pile, nothing too crazy. So Thassa, Lotus Petal, Brainstorm, Street Wraith. So just a simple pass the turn pile, nothing wild. So here they are playing Fellmire, Elvish Spirit Guide, and they're going for the Undercity Informer, which is fine. We're just gonna daze that, as we know the last two cards in their hand. And then go to our turn and finish. So Street Wraith, Brainstorm, put back, Kaito, Thassa on top. And Thassa, 2 cards remaining in library, so that is our win. So now we're going into game 2. We know that's oops, so we're going to bring in some Grafdigger's Cages, we're going to bring in some Force of Negations, and I think that's all we need to bring in. I'm going to cut out a Unearth, I'm going to cut out cut out a Tamio and a Kaito. Now the question is do we want to go more for Doomsday, or do we want to try to like Baragoi Murktide them? I think we can just go for Doomsday as our win con. I mean, Baragoi Murktide also isn't bad, but is that what we need? I don't really think so. I mean, we could bring in these cards, but we're gonna try just Doomsday for now and see how that goes, and from there we can decide if we want to keep the Doomsday plan or go for something else. Nice call, by the way, Captain Cook. It was oops there. That was a really good call. I mean, the mold of 5 makes sense why it would be oops, and them just passing to us without doing anything. But our hand was very prepared for oops, so not too worried about that there. Do we want the consigned to memory? Actually, that might be one worth considering. Well, we'll consider that next game as we're getting into this. I like this hand. We do have a Force, we have Doomsday, 2 lands, and we have a Duress. So feeling pretty confident with this hand if they don't go for a turn 1, and they did mulligan to 6, which lowers the odds of that. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, thank you so much for the follow, everyone who's been following throughout the stream. We got to set up a bot for this so that we can get everyone's names popping up. Still working on that, as we're still kind of newish. I mean, we are a month into streaming, but still working on getting everything set up so that it's more professional. But we really appreciate all the follows and everyone watching. It means a lot. So thank you so much to everyone who is watching. Alright, so here we see they have Pact of Negation. That's good to know. And we see the Goblin Charbelcher, which is also good to know. I'm going to get rid of the Informer, and then next turn I can duress away the Charbelcher. So, we knew about the Spell the Profane. Okay, so I guess let's start off with the duress here. So 1, 2, 3. We're gonna get rid of the Charbelcher, which maybe that was the mistake. Maybe we should have gone for the Pact of Negation, actually thinking about it. Because if they top deck here, we do lose. So it's a bit rough. Yeah. But we're just gonna hope that they don't top deck and everything will be alright. So we're gonna make the same pile we did last game. Lotus Petal. So Cycle Street Wraith, find Lotus Petal, Brainstorm. Trying to think what else we want here. Or we could just do, instead of Lotus Petal, Underground Sea, Polluted Delta. So yeah, if we do this, we just Brainstorm. Okay, that works. So bottom, and then we just hope that they don't top deck a win this turn. And it doesn't look like they did, which is great for us. So we're going to start off with a Brainstorm, put back the Tooth Oracles, cycle, play our Thassa, and hopefully we got there with a 4-0. And it's looking like we got there. So we are 4-0 with Midrange Doomsday. I mean, the deck's been feeling great there. As you see, Doomsday is just a very strong combo card, and being able to play. Alright, we're versus Musasabi in round 5, going for that 5-0. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so we got potential turn 1 Doomsday. I mean, this hand is pretty much all in on the Doomsday, which is fine. We can definitely make that work. But should we? I think I'm going to keep it. It's kind of risky, but we can start off with Duress if we're worried. And if we do get the Doomsday off, then we're in a good spot for like a multi-turn pile. So our opponent's going down to 5. Down to 4. Okay. It may be on Oops All Spells or some type of turbo combo deck. I could see that being the case. In which case, I mean, them going down to 4 no matter what is good for us. But just going to hope that we're not just dead turn 1, as that would definitely be rough. And depending on what they do, we'll either decide if we want to Duress or Dark Ritual Doomsday to start us off. But the Mull to 4 definitely makes me think this is an Oops opponent, which being on the play definitely, or them being on the play definitely not what you want. But the Mull to 4 does help. I'm taking some time on the Mull to 4, so I do wonder if they're trying to debate if they want to go for like a turn 1 win or what they're looking for. I'll have to wait and see. So, I mean, our best draw here, or the draw I'd like the most, would be either Force of Will or Lotus Petal. Street Wraith also is decent, because that gets us Force of Will if we go for a Doomsday. So if we could draw Force of Will, Lotus Petal, or Street Wraith, all of those are pretty good draws. We've got decent odds of getting those, because what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if we include days, we have 3 days. So we got, 6 out of 53, which is pretty nice. Okay, so we do have the Bogart Bog. And to Thoughtseize. Okay, Thoughtseize is fine. That means that they're going slower. They may take the Doomsday here, which would be a bit rough, but okay, they take the Dark Ritual. That's fine. So we get to duress them here. Yeah, Oops is not the most fun deck to play against, but it is definitely one of the better decks in this current meta, so they're having a pretty solid time. But hey, if we draw a land, we can go Thassa into Kaito, or there's some stuff we can do about this. We did draw a land. It's not a black land, but I do like the idea of going Thassa into Kaito. Let's put an Underground Sea on top. And then that gives us a win the same turn as we Doomsday if we want that. They're going to go Jack-o'-lantern here. But we're in a pretty solid spot for next turn. Yeah, it's not a big deck on paper. I played against it sometimes in paper, but it's typically mostly just MTGO. So here, let's Surveil. Do we want the Street Wraith? Street Wraith is fine, so I'll take it. We just have to hope that they don't have a way to kill us this turn with the 2 unknown cards. Alright, we got there. That's great. And we're going to go, same thing that we did last time, bring in the Grafdigger's Cages, bring in the Force of Negations, and we're going to cut the Unearth, Tameo, Consider, and we did cut a Kaito last time, but I think that was wrong. I think then again, Kaito's not great. Yeah, I'm gonna cut the Kaito actually. Consign's fine. I'm not a big fan of Consign in this matchup, just because it only hits one of their creatures, and if they go off, they often don't care about Consign. But maybe I just think too lowly about it. I do like this hand. It's not insane, but it's a Thoughtseize and Grafdigger's Cage hand. We do have Force of Will. Alright. Undercity Informer, and they're just going to pass to us. Okay, pretty happy about that. So let's cycle the Street Wraith here to start us off. See what we get. We get a Bloodstained Mire. That's great. Gonna start off with a Thoughtseize and then go from there. Okay. So we've got Elvish Spirit Guides, some Dark Rituals, Poxwalker, and stuff. I'm gonna get rid of the Dark Ritual and play Grafdigger's Cage. Sacrificing Lotus Petal there is a bit rough, but it was just in case of this. And so here, are they gonna just use both? Yep, they are, and that's gonna be a Poxwalkers. If we just draw a land, then we get to kill the Poxwalkers and puts them in a rough spot. We did draw a land. Great draw. So now we just get to start putting on the aggro. And with the aggro, they're just going to concede. We got that top 8. We are 5-0. We're on the play versus Selfisec, and let's do it. Okay. I mean, this hand gives us Kaido. It gives us a flip Tamio. I think this is worth keeping. Don't know what we're going versus, but this is just a very solid 7-card hand. So, and we could even play it slow. Like, we don't need to flip the Tamio right away because maybe we want to put in Kaido off the Tamio. Okay, we got Ancient Tomb into Defense Grid. Definitely a scary thing to see. Now we do have Doomsday here, which is nice. I think here, do we want to flip the Tamio now? I think we do. Yeah, because I think we're worried about combos. So let's try to flip the Tamio now, see what we can find. Don't think we need the days. And I'll put... This is hard because with the LED we might be able to combo off the same turn. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back days, I'm going to put back Kaito, and then we can debate about if we want to draw them to have a force next turn. Okay. Monolith is fine. Key, don't love to see that. Another key, so they've got plenty of mana, which is definitely scary. Alright, K command, X equals 4. It's fine. So what we could do next turn, which would be interesting, if we can Lion's Eye Diamond, crack it, buy back Doomsday, and use that as a way of going for the combo. And that gives us some mana to do some stuff. So that might be the way to go. Now we have a Karn is terrifying. So probably buying back the Brainstorm here then. Definitely did not want to see this Karn. So yeah, we're gonna buy back the Brainstorm and Brainstorm here. See what we get. None of these are really what we want. This defense grid, and God, them fighting the Karn there was so rough. Don't think we're gonna get there this game, but always worth it to try. And then the question is do we want to play Thassa's Oracle? No, I think we hide that. We still haven't. We have outs, but not great ones. Because likely they're going to liquid metal, or microsynth, whatchamacallit. So show me the microsynth and I will concede. If you don't show me the microsynth, then I'll just keep playing and take my time. Yeah, casting the Thassa is probably correct, but if they microsynth here and we just insta-lose, then I'd rather keep it hidden. Yeah, okay, they have microsynth, so they've that's fine. They get that, but yeah, I'd rather keep that a secret then. So here we're going to bring in the Force of Negations, we're going to bring in the Consign, and the Brazen Borrower. I think here Bowmasters, I know it's good into the One Ring and stuff like that, but I don't think that that's where we're going. I'm going to cut a Kaido, or I'm going to cut two Kaidos. I'm going to cut a Bowmaster and another Bowmaster. And in fact, I'm going to cut all the Bowmasters to bring in Murktide as just a finisher, because I think that that's going to be a better finisher. Do I cut Brazen Borrower actually? Probably. Okay, so we're on the play here again. This hand's not great. So I'm gonna mulligan that, look for something else. This hand's definitely better. So I'm gonna put back that and go for a turn 1 Thoughtseize. Okay, so seeing their hand, they're gonna go for Urza Saga stuff. They've got Grim Monolith, they got K Command, Manifold Key. I'm just gonna take the Monolith, hoping to slow them down enough. Saga, Key, Lotus Battle. Hey, there you go. Thank you for joining the chat. So far it's going pretty good. We're 6-0, starting out top 8. The 6th match we got scooped in because we were both 5-0, but so far it's going pretty good. Alright, so here let's ponder, looking for a Doomsday. We do find a Doomsday and a land and a Cycler, all of which is great. Depending on what our opponent does, we may just cast Doomsday next turn and then try to go for a 1-turn pass file. Yeah, the K Command is definitely scary, but I'm not too worried about that because we have Forcible, and their hand's not really made to beat Doomsday right now. We're gonna go down to 8 life. Which could be scary because they're gonna make a construct, but I don't think that they're I mean, if they have the boots, then we're probably just dead, no matter what. So I think we just gotta go hope they don't have the boots. But we didn't see boots last time. Okay, so we want Thassa's Oracle, Edge of Autumn. We could do a Consider Unearth pile here with 1 card left in deck. That could be interesting. So if we go like edge of autumn, consider put Thassa into the graveyard, keeping a Thassa in the deck also. So that could be interesting. Because you have the force for consign, and I doubt that they're going to be using Yard Hate here. And even if they do, we're still probably fine to just put Thassa on top if we're worried about Yard Hate. So I think this is a good pile. I'm gonna try it. So what we want is Thassa, Unearth, Thassa, Consign, Edge of Autumn. And we're gonna take, so what, 6 damage here? So we still get the force and be at 1. We have 2 of the cards in their hand, and we're safe against both of them. Needle is a small concern. Could definitely see that being our undoing, actually. But I don't know. They might have cut Needle though, because they didn't see Doomsday game 1, so they might think that we're on blue-black mid-range. Because they definitely took some time looking at the Doomsday, which I imagine, I mean, it makes sense. Okay, so they're not making another construct, which is good for us. They got another Lotus Petal, which could be scary. I don't know what they're going to do with that extra Lotus Petal. So let's see. So definitely going to float a blue, cycle here. And then the question is do we want to just play the Thassa? If we just play the Thassa, then their Kozilek's command costs 4, and then we can daze the Dismember. So actually, I'm just going to Oracle here, so they can't, yeah. So here, they're probably going to try and K-command, kill the Oracle, I'll force that, they'll Dismember, I'll daze, and then that should be a win. So starting off with the Dismember, we're going to force that. So we knew about that. And now they're going to K-command, I imagine. Are you going to K-command opponent? Probably think of which 2 modes to use, I imagine, with the K-command, because which modes are important. Still waiting on them to decide what to do. I imagine they're looking at our exile, counting all the cards and everything. So here we're going to see the K command. What modes did they pick? I mean, it doesn't really matter because they picked the draw mode. So we're going to daze that, and I think that that's going to be a win. Okay, we got there. So 1-1 going into game 3. Is there any changes we want to make? Do we want the Brazen Borrower? That's a question. Do we want the Murktides? I mean, I could see Murktide not being the right move here, but I do just think having a big beat stick can help. As an alternative win con over having Kaito. I don't think the Bowmasters are exactly what we're looking at for here, but I don't know. I think Merc is fine. I'd rather have Merc than a lot of cards in the sideboard. I could see Brazen over Merc, but like the goal with Merc is having like limit. Yeah. At least my goal with Merc is like to have like very little amount of creatures, focusing more on Doomsday. Oh yeah, they do have Mystic Forge, don't they? I could see that. I think on the draw, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a daze. I'm going to bring in the Brazen, and I'm going to try it like this. I don't think we need the Mystic Forge covered. I think we need to force them and go faster than them, and this is how we go faster. Obviously, daze won us the game there, but that's with us on the play. Versus us on the draw, it's going to be a different timing for everything. Okay, this hand is fine. It's nothing crazy, but it gives us a potential turn 2 Doomsday, which I do like. Monolith's fine. It's a lot of mana. And we are going to force pitching days here. Okay. So nice, we've got a consign to memory. Happy to see that. And that's going to be a Doomsday next turn, guaranteed. We can even consign and still Doomsday. Okay, so they have plenty of mana. Mana is not the thing they're worried about. So I guess here what we're going to do is we're going to Doomsday. The question is do we want to fetch? I think we do. So we're going to do our Doomsday here. And I think the goal is to make a pile where we draw Thassa right away. Then we fetch with March Flats, getting Undercity Sewers, and then surveil that to the yard. So we're going to do Thassa. Or actually, we don't need to fetch for that, because what we could do is we could Edge of Autumn as a way. So if we Edge of Autumn, we do Edge of Autumn Street Wraith, because we have the time to do this. Oh, you know what we could do? We could do an Imperfect Pile with Undercity Sewers as our final one. That way we could go down to 0 cards if needed, but stay at 2 cards otherwise. I like that. So here we get to go Undercity, Thassa, Thassa, Street Wraith, Edge of Autumn. And we do have a consign to memory to hold up. So they are untapping the Grim Monolith, that's fine. Fleshraker doesn't kill us, so that's fine. Okay, so here we're gonna float blue, cycle, cycle, play Marsh Flats, play Thassa, and we got there. Okay. Whew, we are in the top 4. That's in a noob spell is always fun. Alright, so we're on the play with Ozymandias. I imagine they're on blue-black mid-range. And this hand is fine. Yeah, Tamio pickup edge is massive, and the gaining of mana is so good. Okay, I'm gonna keep this hand. Go for a turn 1 Tamio, and then turn 2 we can ponder into Duress or Thoughtseize. So I think that that's the move. Just have a lot of interaction for 1 mana, so I'm feeling pretty confident, but we'll have to wait and see. And the question is, do we want to get Basic Island? I don't know. Basic Island is... I think we can afford to not get Basic Island. And if we get punished, we get punished. I mean, it is what it is. Especially with the Edge of Autumn in our hand, I think we're fine. Yeah, we could definitely also flip Tamio next turn if we wanted to, with Ponder Edge of Autumn. Okay, they had their own Tamio, that's fine. So, start off with attacking, and then we'll ponder, and then depending on our draw, we'll see what we go for. Second Doomsday, that's fine. Not exactly what we're looking for, but it's decent. Now we ponder, I'm looking for that second land. Don't find it, but we do find Dark Ritual and stuff. I do think we just have to shuffle. Okay, paid off for the shuffle. And I'm gonna Thoughtseize here. So we got Force of Will, Wasteland, Kaito, Brainstorm. We've got some time before the stuff, so I'm just gonna take the Brainstorm to stop the Tamio flip. And if they just Wasteland us this turn, then I'll cycle Edge of Autumn. Okay, we got Bowmasters here. Definitely a bit scary. we know their whole hand at least, which is nice. Our own Bowmasters would be a good draw here. I think if we draw Dark Ritual, that's a guaranteed win. Could be wrong. Brainstorm, not exactly what we want to be drawing here. Yeah, I'm just going to duress, get rid of the Kaido. Yeah, I agree. The edge is likely going to be need to be held for the pile. We could brainstorm on their turn. What are we looking for brainstorm? I don't know. Alright. I have to wait and see, but I might want to brainstorm on their turn. If I do that though, alright. Do we want to cycle the edge of autumn here? Can we afford to cycle the edge of autumn here? I think we have to. Okay. It's another land. They ping us, which is interesting. Because if they ping the Tamio, we could only block the Bowmaster. But by pinging us, we get to block the 2 damage here, which is pretty big. Okay. We draw our own Force of Will, which is kind of nice. They crack a blue token, makes sense. We've got to find our own Bowmaster here. Or Dark Ritual. So we know 2 of their cards in hand. They have a Brainstorm, which is fine. Definitely in a rough spot here. Let's just see if they kill the Tamio. It's definitely possible. They don't kill the Tamio, which is interesting. If we draw a land here, we've got a couple options. I like the idea of Kaitoing here, attacking the Tamio with the Kaito and then down ticking on the Orc army. So I'm going to go for that. Or actually no, because I want to attack the Tamio, because I'm not going to 0 here. I'll 0 next turn. Tapping the Orc army. Crack a blue token from our opponent. And now if we draw a Dark Ritual, we're in a pretty good spot. In fact, I think we could just win if we draw a Dark Ritual. Alright, they're gonna kill the Kaido, which is fine. Hoping to draw Dark Ritual here. That's an out. Do draw Dark Ritual. We gotta think here. So I could just Dark Ritual, Doomsday, play Tamio, wait a turn. If I Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Brainstorm, I go down to 1. So what I could do is, because they have force, so I'd rather force their force here. So we're gonna go for a pass pile here. Wait, they have another. Oh god, they have another force. Okay. Well, that is not good for us. Yeah, we are in a rough spot. If I was them, I'd just sacrifice the Tamio to bring back Force of Will, which they did. Cracking to draw a card, which is fine. Oh god, they got Thoughtseize to get rid of our Doomsday. Okay. We're not out yet, but we're definitely not in. I mean, I guess we have to crack this, accept the 2 damage, and that's gonna be game. Okay, that's fine. I mean, not much we could do there. Off into game 2, we're gonna bring in some Murktides, some Baraglyphs, Fatal Push. We're gonna bring in the Fair Plan, as I think we're gonna have more Baraglyphs than them, which is gonna help us a lot. And I don't want to be fighting too much on the stack. So we're gonna get rid of LED, couple forces because we're on the play, so we can daze over force. Gonna get rid of the duress and a lotus petal because we're not trying to go too fast, as well as consider. Unearth's fine, so I guess I might keep that, but that's in the chopping block. I'm gonna cut the Street Wraith into Bowmaster decks. I don't love that, and I'm gonna cut a Thassa's Oracle. I'm gonna try it like that. I mean, I don't think you can. What is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? It's like 11 cards. So, I mean, you could cut the whole thing if you want, but I don't think that's really worth it. Because it's nice to have 2 ways to win. But I could see it. I mean, this seems fine. It's going for the Doomsday plan. We have a Fatal Push. Got 2 Doomsdays. Fine with this hand. Gonna Surveil here. Put a Baraglyph on top. I guess the question then becomes, do we want to Baraglyph for Doomsday? I think here we probably want to go for Baraglyph. Yeah, let's just go for Barrel Wave. And pray they don't have a force for that. And they don't. Okay, so we got the Barrel Wave down. That's pretty nice. Our opponent fetches. Oh, they have a Fatal Push? Okay, so they just predicted the transition. Dang. That, Fatal Push and a Brainstorm. I mean, that is rough for us. That is very rough for us. Definitely need a land here. Man, we are... I mean, they did see Tamiyo Kaido. That makes sense. Like, I'm not saying that it doesn't make sense, but just Fatal Push and a Brainstorm in your opening hand is... That's rough. With a Thoughtseize to follow it up. Yeah, blue-black midrange is definitely going to be one of the tougher matchups against this, just with the interaction they have hitting this deck on all fronts. But yeah, them being able to get rid of the Kaido in one turn with the second Bowmaster there, and having two forces for the Doomsday game one was rough. They're taking Doomsday, which to me screams that they're buying back Thoughtseize, so they're just going to take both Doomsdays? Okay. I mean, if we go land, I think we're in a decent spot. That is the worst card we could have drawn. Okay. Do I want to play around days? Is a fair question. I think I'm just going to say no here, because they just kill the Baragorf. Please don't have a way to deal with it. They do. Okay. I mean, unfortunately, this Tamiyo has taken over this game, and I do not see many outs for us here. Maybe we draw, like, if we go Bowmaster into land, maybe, but they have just another Thoughtseize effect. God. They have just had everything for this. Like, this has not been... There's not much we could have done in this match. I mean, them having the Fatal Push with the fetch land for the Baragorf, double Thoughtseize for the Doomsday, us not finding a land. Like, I'm going to keep playing it out just because, you know, why not? But, damn, that is a painful... That was, they just had way too much for us to keep up with. I mean, blue-black is a good deck. Definitely a good deck against Doomsday. But I can't think of much we can do. Oh, they're just buying back Force of Will, being smart about trying not to die to Bowmaster of ours. I'm just going to get rid of their Bowmasters now. We're still not out of the game, but definitely not in it very far. Right, I mean, we got another Thassa's Oracle that's gonna... I mean, it's a 1/3. It can block. Sure, I'll take Ponder. And there's really not much you can do once a Tamiyo's accrued this much value, as they're just going to keep buying back Thoughtseize effects and Force of Wills, and I think versus this deck, you probably just want to be turbo and hope you can overwhelm them. Being tempo, they have cards like Fatal Push and stuff like that that can all beat through. So it's important to be able to. It's important to just like blank these cards, which you can't really do. On mid-range. Yeah, I mean, it happens. They played well. Still going 7-0 into 7-1. Great way to finish. But I don't think we're winning this one, being fully honest. I'm going to keep playing it out, but I'm going to play Doomsday. They're going to force it, and that's likely going to be game, as they're essentially drawing like 3 cards a turn. So, to play our Doomsday. And pray. But by pray I mean this is gonna get forced, and that's gonna be good. Alright, I'm just gonna concede at that force because we know they also have a forcible in hand. Even if Beargrowth is our next draw, the team is gonna uptick and downtick. So very happy with this finish. 7-1 with the deck. Deck felt great. Thank you so much to everyone who was watching, and we will see you guys all in the next stream. Also, please check out our YouTube channel. Check out the expansion series, as it's something that me and Audrey have been working hard on. We're also going to upload some videos like this VOD eventually to the YouTube channel. So please check it out if you have the time. Greatly appreciate it. And leave a like and subscribe if you like our videos. I will see you guys all on Sunday. Bye.